What's going on, everybody? Mike Somich coming at you for RacingDudes.com. Back to talk about the Grade 3 Street Sense Stakes going a mile and a 16th over the Churchill Downs dirt on Sunday. This is race number 10 on the card for 2-year-old males. These horses probably wish that they were in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile on Friday, but they're just a cut below that group. Let's start out here with the favorite Red Route Run coming out of the Steve Asmussen barn. Last time we saw this horse was in the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland, going a mile and a 16th over that dirt course. Horses 59-1 that day. Ran into Forte and Loggins, two horses that are both very highly thought of here on this 2-year-old circuit. End up running third. But going from 59-1, almost 60-1 down to 3-1 seems like a little bit of a jump here. Not really a horse I'm overly interested in playing. Second choice on the board is the 3-horse Jace's Road for Brad Cox. Last time we saw this horse was in the Iroquois. Now, this was interesting. It was about 5-1 on the board that day. Was close to the pace in a race that absolutely collapsed. You end up seeing Curly Jack and Honed, who we'll talk about here shortly, in that spot. Both come in at big numbers. I believe it was 17-1 and 54-1. Jace's Road ran really well to be able to stay that close. So definitely some interest here in Jace's Road. Right to the inside is Boppy O for Mark Cassidy. This is a Bolt de Oro colt that sold for $190,000 at auction and is already a graded stakes winner. Won the Grade 3 with anticipation over the Saratoga turf at a 23-1 upset number. Now we get back to dirt. And it's interesting. Started the career at Gulfstream, won on the dirt, went into the Grade 3 Sanford at Saratoga, and was a little disappointing there, but was 40-1 in that spot. So you can't knock the horse too much. Boppy O comes back, wins that with anticipation, runs in the Bourbon, doesn't run quite as well, and kind of it was as expected. Boppy O was a surprise there in the with anticipation. Trying to get it right here, heading back to the dirt. Should be one of a couple horses that is a pace presence in here in what should be a pretty decently contested early pace. One of the 3 entries here for Kenny McPeak, the 7-horse Frosted Departure, coming in at 6-1, gets Brian Hernandez Jr., his go-to jockey on the circuit. Was very impressive, winning a $100,000 allowance here over this Churchill Downs track, but then really regressed in the Breeders' Futurity. Was able to stick close to that pace and just kind of give it up. I think they went too fast for this horse. We'll see what kind of position and what kind of ability he shows to rate. That's going to be the key. If Frosted Departure tries to go, it's going to be very tough for him to be able to win this race. I mentioned Hone before, the 9-horse, also for Kenny McPeak, Julian Leparoux up front or on board, ran in the Grade 3 Iroquois over this exact track and got a great trip. Look, they went way too fast early. Hone was able to pick up some pieces and at 54-1, run up into the exacta. Came back in the Breeders' Futurity. We saw 35-1 that day. Was not able to quite run into it. Had some issues, had to go wide. Was not a very good trip for Hone. Now we're getting back to a track we know he likes and the setup. I am interested in Honed underneath again. Going to be tough for this one to win, but I wouldn't be shocked to be able to hit the board. Look, for my top pick, I'm going to go to the 3 Jace's Road. I think that Iroquois is sneaky good based on how the rest of the speed in that race did. I think that you're going to have a little bit easier of a pace, and that was only the 2nd career race for Jace's Road. Now we're going to come back here, get 3rd career, should improve off that spot. I think it'd be ultra tough here for Brad Cox and Florent Giroux. I'm going to put this 9-horse Honed in second here. I think Honed is a real threat in this spot because you're going to see a very similar setup to that Iroquois. And if this does collapse, Honed is going to be one that is going to be running. And I guess I'll put Red Route 1 in the 3rd spot. I don't love this horse. I'd like to take more of a shot with someone like Boppy O or Frosted Departure at a price, but Red Route 1 does make sense here, hitting the board in the trifecta. Thank you very much for checking out this preview of the Grade 3 Street Sense Stakes coming at you Sunday from Churchill Downs. Make sure you're checking out RacingDudes.com for previews of all the stakes races coming up over the weekend. And make sure you're subscribed to YouTube.com/RacingDudes for all of our Breeders' Cup coverage coming up here in the next week and a half. We'll see you at the track.
RacingDudes.com is your home for the best betting tips and coverage for the 2022 Breeders' Cup. Our wagering guides have cashed for thousands. You cannot miss our 2022 Inside Track wagering guide to the Breeders' Cup. So hurry up and subscribe, then go to RacingDudes.com, check out the free picks for every race, every track across the country, and the Inside Track to the Breeders' Cup wagering guide available soon.